this video we'll look at how to factorise a cubic polynomial. So here is our cubic polynomial, and when it's factorised it takes this form here. We've got 3 linear factors. So in our example here we've got a cubic polynomial, and the first thing you always do is look for a common factor, and in this case I can see x is common. So take out the x, left with x squared plus 6x plus 8. Now we have a quadratic factor, and that factor can be factorised into 2 sets of brackets. So we have x multiplied by x for the x squared term. Now these 2 terms here would multiply to make 8 and add to make the 6. So we have 4 times by 2 would equal 8, and if we add 4 and 2 we get 6. So now that is completely factorised into 3 linear factors. Second example, we are given one of the factors of this cubic here. So the first thing to do is to rewrite the cubic in terms of the linear and quadratic factors. So we have the cubic is equal to 2x plus 1 multiplied by a quadratic factor, and I can determine it's x squared plus something times by x plus a constant. Now I know that 2x times by x squared would make my 2x cubed over here, but my constant term is 1 times by c, and that has to equal my value of -10, which means c must equal -10. Okay, so now we need to expand the right hand side and then equate it to the left hand side. So I've shown you before there are 3 ways we can expand that there. So I'll expand it one of those techniques, and I end up with that expression there. So now we're going to equate terms from the left and right side. So the 2x cubed and 2x cubed, don't need to use that, but I can use the fact that the x squared term here of 2b plus 1 must equal the 7 over here. And that can be solved to end up with 2b equals 6, and therefore b equals 3. Alright, let's equate the x terms. So my x term here and my x term here is -17. So those 2 are equal to each other, and we end up with that equation there. Now we've already solved the value of b, but solving this we just confirm that we've done the right thing at this point. So if we rearrange the equation here, we'll get to -17 plus 20, and once again we get the value of 3. So even though you've solved the value of b, solve the other equations just to confirm your result. So the question was to fully factorise the cubic, so therefore I can now rewrite my polynomial, let's call it p of x, in terms of the linear factor, and then the quadratic factor is x squared, and b is now 3. Now, can we factorise that further? I believe we can. So we need x times by x for the x squared term. Once again, these 2 numbers multiply to make the -10, but add to make the plus 3. So 5 and 2, and if I did 5 times -2, that will work. So we have x plus 5 and x take 2. So now we have fully factorised our cubic.